a sight for my soul. There goes a sight, there goes a sight. Now there goes a sight for my soul. There goes a sight for my soul. There goes a sight, there goes a sight. There goes a sight for my soul. I think a fall angel just walked by. 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 There goes a sight for my soul.
All right, so we gotta go back to the house, get ready for the open house in Bloomfield in Nutley. Go back, suit up. That's it.
Go to work.
Hit the road. We already went to work. This was the work. Now we're gonna have fun.
We're gonna have fun. I've been having fun since I woke up this morning.
There goes a
Yo, so Eric listed it, he suggested listing it at $338,888, right? Which we originally, when we acquired it, thought we were gonna get like $350 for it.
Okay.
But then we ran comps, did all the numbers, factored in interest rates still remaining to be low. And obviously there's no supply in the market, right?
Were you able to find good comps for this?
Yeah, the comps are coming in between 380 and 410 right now.
Okay.
So him pricing it at that 338 number, he thinks it's gonna create like massive bidding wars, right? So what's interesting is the first day we put it on the MLS, we had over 1,000 views, which is huge, obviously.
Right.
And we have 15 scheduled showings after the Broken Open House today. But you know what's really cool, right, which we spoke about? We're gonna offer the client, whoever comes in and wants to actually buy this house,
Right.
listen, if someone comes in 400 all cash, they got it, right? 400 all cash, don't need a mortgage. So who's ever coming in at above 350, we're gonna get the chance to pre-approve them. So we're gonna create deal flow, obviously, for the mortgage bank, pre-approve additional clients. We're gonna offer every single person that comes and puts an offer in, right, the ability to get their mortgage with no fees from us, plus a $1,500 credit. So we're gonna show everybody how business should be done with helping the consumer, giving them a lender credit to help offset a majority of their closing costs, right?
Yeah, I mean, Mike and just discussing yesterday at that meeting that we had 2 days ago, actually, about the advantages of that neighborhood and what's being built there with the nursing school and all that.
Crazy.
The good schools,
Hospitals, everything.
Hospitals.
Doctors, nurses.
it's key factors to look into, because what's awesome is it's being built, so you're getting it for pennies on the dollar compared to what it will be.
And again, most New Yorkers still don't even know about Nutley, New Jersey. They're like, Nutley, where the heck is that?
Yeah.
They don't even want to go to Hoboken, Jersey City.
Well, just
Union
like we were
City.
saying before about Connor, and like you go from Hoboken and then you go to more of a suburban lifestyle. So it's a good synergy between what we're doing here and the flips out in Nutley.
From doing this for 10 years now, when I first started investing in properties and flipping properties with people in New York, oftentimes we would pre-list a property or pre-show people properties. And what we learned over time is people don't have the vision to see a completed project, right? So Mike and I, who are flipping this property in our group, have not told anybody about the property, did not give a price point on it, didn't market it at all, specifically because we wanted to have everything done. We wanted to have the bathrooms done, the kitchens done, the backyard done. So then that way we're able to show someone a finished product where they can't come in and say, oh, well, the kitchen's not in. Because your average person who's never bought a property before doesn't know all that stuff. It's funny, Eric and I actually met on Instagram, and he posted a picture of a house for sale in Nutley and had over 100 people at his open house, and there were lines out the door. So I saw the picture, I sent him a DM, I slid into that DM, and I'm like, listen, I'm flipping a house in Nutley, I want you to list this property. So, as the work was going on, we got together periodically, he gave some pointers, gave some tips, and what was really awesome is he staged the property. So when you see an empty house, it's great, but when you see it staged, you see what the house truly can become. And it's not for everybody, it's temporary, but it gives someone, an appealing visual that they can take home with them and take pictures of, obviously, to show, their family, wives, whoever. So Eric really knocked it out of the park with this one, and he also listed it on the MLS last week and delayed all showings for a week. So then that way it created buzz. We priced it properly. He'll explain later on how he convinced us to price it at, $30,000 under market. But it was really crucial in creating that buzz. Everyone wants affordable living, specifically in New Jersey. New York's so overpriced right now that NJ affordable living is going to be the next big thing. People need to get to Manhattan, they need to get to where their job is, they need public transportation. That's all great, but they need to also be able to afford where they live. So Nutley is a market right now where we believe it's affordable. It will remain affordable for the most part. You can still get a beautiful house for under $400,000, and you can get a pool, backyard, and everything else. So people really aren't doing whatever it takes to sell properties these days. Typically realtors, if the properties are priced right, someone else will come in and sell it. So if we sell the house for $400,000, he's going to make $20,000 of that. But listen, at the end of the day, it's all about relationships. I met Eric twice before we gave him the listing. We spoke, we text, had a couple meals together, and I liked Eric as a person. And listen, he just had a baby, right? So he doesn't need any more complications in his life. So we gave him that listing because we believed he was the best guy to get this job done, and we've actually formed a friendship. So, I believe that in business, if you have a business foundation, you should always try and form some type of outside relationship or friendship, to really cap off that, transaction. So, we're going to the open house now. I believe Eric's going to have a ton of people here. It's a broker open house. So in order to get the brokers to get buzz out there, they tell other brokers to come, they host the food and drinks, and then later on this afternoon, like I said, we have over 15 or 20 showings already confirmed with end users, home buyers. So that's pretty much what it is. Listen, yeah, I think sports and everything else is pretty much like the test or the training for life. Obviously, like most people who succeed, I know specifically in sales, management, were captains of their teams, they had the experience, they were elite players. Now, going on the opposite side, the people that had the most amount of skill, that were handed everything, given the most amount of opportunities, never really had to work for anything because they had the natural talent. Yeah. They go down the other path. Right. They're the ones that get the odd end jobs, the ones that really are lucky to even probably have jobs because no one's now handing them anything in life. Whereas because their natural talent was speed or height or jumping ability or strength, and now you don't have that.
Well, it takes a special type of person to be an independent contractor, to work for themselves. Some people need to be told you show up at 9, you leave at 5, every other week we'll directly deposit this in your bank account, just make sure these tasks are done. And then there's other people that can't work for people. They're not built for office environments. They're not. They thrive on the kind of back against the wall. No one's depending. No one. It's up to me, right? My success is totally up to me, and no one's going to give it to me. So, in the industry that we're in, whether you're a real estate salesperson, a mortgage broker, you're not guaranteed anything. That's why the failure rate is so high, because
It's over 99%.
So many people do not know how to be their own boss. Just because you are technically your own boss as an independent contractor doesn't mean you know how to run a business. I had no idea about business, about credit, about finance. I mean, when we talk about home
Even
buyer,
real estate.
Yeah, even real estate, or how to purchase, or it seemed like a distant thing in the way future. I'll worry about when I'm
30
when
plus.
I'm 30 plus. I'm married with kids. It's not so. If I had the mindset of what I have now, or even half the information that I have now, or working or guidance from somebody with this type of information, life could have been easier for me. I could have been in a different situation much earlier. So when we talk about Home Buyer Huddle, when we talk about all the things that we're doing, a lot of the focus is not on the current real estate market. It's about where it's going in the next generation, because the next superstar in mortgages, the next superstar agent, the next, they're not even out of high school yet.
And they don't even know that they're going to be the next. That's what's
Right.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like in sports, it's like, at an early age who's special and who's not special. And that's where I think like our business model, what we're developing, bringing outsiders from the mortgage industry that have failed, they've fallen on their butts, they've come to terms with they need a different career path. We bring them in and we train them organically to come join us. We'll be your mentors. We're not your bosses, but we're also not your friends. Like, this is a business, right? And I think being able to detect or see something in someone such that has that top talent or capability of having that type of talent or role player,
Right.
I think that's where we stand out from.
Well, it's one thing to learn from your mistakes, right? It's another thing to take it to a next level and give back
Right.
with the knowledge you've learned from your mistakes.
Definitely.
Right? So you can save people, you can save kids, learning things the hard way by just giving back your knowledge to people that are interested in learning more about what the path to financial freedom looks like.
Yeah, I think that even if we just went into high schools, right, with kids that wanted to play college football, didn't get the opportunity, didn't get the chance, got hurt, whatever, didn't want to go to college.
Right.
We can relate to them, they could relate to us, and we never know who we can inspire to help be the next us.
Yeah.
And that's what people really don't see. And that's one thing that we have going, most people don't have. We have that teamwork, we have that, I know my role, you know your role. If you have to take over my role, I have to take over your role. We know that how that works, that dynamic works. And what most people fall into is, no, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, and they focus on the money part of it.
Right. And
We
just
don't
like you
focus on
said,
the
the
money.
person that runs that 4-3-40, if they have a shitty coach and no guidance, it doesn't matter.
Well, the coach doesn't like them.
They can have all the talent in the world. It's important to know what's available out there, because if you don't know, if you're not taking the right steps to saving, monitoring your credit, and setting yourself up for the future, you have no one to blame for yourself.
Yeah, and then you start already from the negative. You're already at a disadvantage. Now you're at a double or triple or quadruple disadvantage. Your credit's not where it needs to be. Your income's not where it needs to be. You don't have the money saved up, and you don't have the knowledge or guidance.
So as we talk about Home Buyer Huddle, we stress a lot about accurate information, whether you're an experienced real estate investor
And knows everything.
that knows everything already,
Yep.
and need to make some solid connections in a network or maybe in a market that you're not familiar with.
Yep.
Or you're somebody who is in high school that wants to start to think about the process.
Right.
This is a one-stop shop place.
Yeah, listen, all eyes are on New York and New Jersey real estate.
Yeah.
It's where the most money is, with the exception of California and different pockets in the country.
Yeah.
All eyes watch New York.
Yeah.
In sports, in money, in everything, specifically real estate. So I think we have an opportunity here to really, go national, take Home Buyer Huddle to the next level. Obviously, we're in the pre-development stages. If it was a child, they're about 3 months, 4 months cooking. But really watching it come to fruition with all the experience we have and our overall mindset, and then our why, which is obviously giving back to the community and the youth. I think that's really what's going to drive this. I think it can go to the next level.
I don't see why not.
So that's it. Listen, I think it relies on us. We have every opportunity to win. We just have to execute.
Yep.
If we execute, we win.
Yep, got to hold on to the ball. You know what I mean?